Welcome to High Infidelity, the best cheating videos on YouTube. If you enjoy this content, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications. Now let's get into the video.
Discovered I am not my daughter's biological father. I just found out my 15-year-old daughter is not my biological child. My daughter was preparing for a family tree project for an online class and wanted an ancestry test. My father is half Native American, but he died several years ago, and I don't know precisely what Native American blood is in the family. My daughter came to me because it was my father, and we didn't mention it to her mother at the time. Well, it turned out my daughter doesn't have any Native American blood. The obvious conclusion didn't occur to me at first because the truth of the situation didn't seem possible. I assumed there was a mistake. My first thought was that my father hadn't been part Native American. So I took the test and everything became apparent. It was a very emotional situation for me and my daughter. What I will remember the most was after she started crying, she hugged so tightly and just kept saying over and over, "I love you, Daddy." At home, I confronted my wife, and she looked like she had a stroke. She started crying and apologizing. You can probably imagine it. My wife and I got married because she was pregnant. We'd been together for more than a year when it happened. It turns out she was sleeping with multiple guys at the time. She says it didn't mean anything, and she doesn't even remember some of their names. When she realized she was pregnant, she said she wasn't sure who her father was. Since I was unaware of her extracurricular activities, she let me believe I was the father because I was the most financially stable. In terms of that, she may have chose correctly. I have been very successful in my career, and building passive income streams has been a hobby of mine for a long time. My daughter got my wife to admit to this on tape, as my daughter records the whole thing. I asked my wife several times, and she keeps insisting that she has been faithful for the entire time we have been married. I've never suspected anything. But I also didn't realize she was sleeping around before we got married, so I've said I don't believe her. I've come across a lot of the red flags of cheaters, and I can't think of any of them during our marriage. She doesn't use social media, and she has never been guarded about her phone. She only drinks on special occasions and doesn't go out for girls' night or anything. Also, she is a stay-at-home wife/mom, so here aren't any coworkers to worry about. She exercises at home, as we have a very nice home gym. I don't believe her when she says she hasn't cheated after getting married, but I can't think of anything suspicious. We have a prenup, so I'm not worried about divorce. If it comes to that, my daughter is another story. She is absolutely livid about the whole situation. I know teenagers can be emotional. I certainly remember how I was at her age, but she has never been very expressive, something I thought she were from me. Nature vs. nurture. My daughter can't stand to be around her mother. Basically variations of calling her a dirty slut who ruined our family. Whenever my wife tries to talk to her, my daughter yells and swears and cries like I have never seen. Christmas is coming up, and my daughter is demanding my wife leave the house until after New Year's so she can spend time with her real family, meaning me. My daughter has even come to me privately saying that in the event of divorce, she wants to stay with me. She has even asked if it is possible to disown her mother and be adopted by me. I haven't told this to my wife. My wife is preparing to leave for her parents' house for the holidays. My wife and I had talked about the situation, but had decided to wait until after New Year's to make any decisions. I admit I'm grateful she agreed to leave because honestly I need some time to process this. I think I'm writing this as a way to just come to terms with everything that has happened. Edit. After writing this post, I fell asleep for a few hours. I came back to post after about 10 hours and realized there were more than 200 messages. Thanks to everyone who took the time to comment. It means a lot. Additionally, thanks for all the compassion and kind comments. I was touched by the displays of support, and I'm not ashamed to say I shed a few tears. I still haven't read every message, but know I intend to, whether or not I respond to yours specifically. I don't want to address two consistent things mentioned in the comments. I'd had a DNA test. After our ancestry tests were different due to her lack of Native American blood, we got proper DNA tests. That was when I confronted my wife. Looking back at the original post, I'm sorry for not making that clear. I've made it clear in no uncertain terms that she is my daughter and I am her father regardless of the situation. I've reiterated to her repeatedly that she can stay with me and I will never leave her. Several comments suggested she might be scared I will leave her or want nothing more to with her. Nothing could be farther from the truth, and I tell her every day. Story 2. My wife's cheating hurts more than my cancer. Long story short, I was diagnosed with stage 2 lung cancer about a month ago. Was completely depressed. Didn't know how to tell my family, my wife, my children, or my friends. A few people know, my brother and my best friend. Still hadn't found the strength to tell anyone else. I have 2 sons and a daughter. The oldest is 11. I can't imagine life without them and don't know what telling them something like this will do to them, or even how to tell them. About 2 weeks ago, someone contacted me letting me know that my wife has been sleeping with her husband for the better part of almost 4 months. My wife and this dude are coworkers. She provided pics and screenshots of DM between them. I was absolutely crashed. Still am. Worst of all, my wife was on a work trip at the time I found out, so she was probably with this coworker the entire trip. I haven't confronted her yet. I don't have the strength to do so. Not yet, at least. The woman who informed me also hasn't confronted her husband yet. She's drawing up papers for a divorce and getting her finances in order. Guess she is far stronger than I am. I have completely no idea what to do. My family is almost completely reliant on me, not just financially. I don't know how much longer I have to live, and getting a divorce now will mean I'd only see my kids half the time, and it's killing me inside. My wife makes far less than I do, so I'd have to give up a lot in the divorce. We live in a no-fault state. So at 36, I'm on my way to the grave knowing the person I thought was the love of my life never really loved me. The only thing I have now are my kids, and I guess I'll just have to suck it up and give them a normal semblance of a happy family with whatever time I have left. So sorry for the sob story, just needed to get it all out. To everyone going through the heartbreak of being cheated on, just make the most of what you have. You never know what life will throw at you. Simply live life for those who matter most to you. Note: I didn't know what flair this post fell under, so sorry if it's misleading. God bless you all. Story 3. My ex adamantly hated cheating, yet she monkey branched me. When she finally confessed that she had been secretly seeing this other man, it was a month after our breakup. We were talking, having sex, it was like we were back together. I genuinely thought we were repairing the relationship. She canceled a few dates with me, then eventually came out and said that she was secretly hanging out with another man. She swore that she hadn't met him while we were dating, but the screenshots she sent me of their text don't add up to what she said. Regardless, even if she hadn't been seeing this guy during our actual relationship, I still feel cheated on. We may have been broken up, yet we both agreed to not seeing other people. For all intents and purposes, we were basically back in the relationship again, same routine, spent all day every day together, mutual exclusivity, talking about how to make it work. I guess all along she was secretly using me as a safety blanket. I cut contact after I found out she fucked him. They've presumably been together for 5 months now. She really made sure to rub it in that she loves this new man and she's in a relationship with him. It cuts me to the bone that she did this. Everyone in her family is a cheater, and for the entire time I knew her, she always cut down cheating. She had an abhorrent hatred for it, yet she did it herself. I guess I can't be surprised. After we broke up, she practically turned into the opposite of the person I knew. She broke every promise she ever made to me and went back on every moral. I'm thrown for a loop and I'm hurt. This is my first time being cheated on, and I'm not doing too well at processing it.